Hello everybody and welcome back to another ant keeping video. Today I have a special video, our 100 subscriber special. Today I will show you every one of my ant colonies and give you a small update on each, kind of like an ant room tour. Before we start this video, I just want to thank every single one of you who have subscribed to this channel. And if you watch my videos and haven't subscribed yet, it helps the channel a ton if you enjoy my content. Anyways, to start off today's video, the first colony I will be showing you guys is my Monomorium Ortegnia. This colony was just updated last video, so if you want an in-depth update, feel free to watch that. After moving them to their clean home last time, they have been happily eating and they seem to like the nest so far. The queens are still machines, pumping out new eggs every feeding. They have so much brood covered by all those workers. I was able to collect this colony near my house about 6 months ago, and they have gone through 3 nests since then. They have always been looking for an escape route, and I always make sure that the lid on the formicarium is tight, as these ants can slip past fluon, a liquid that when dry makes it slippery for the ants so they can't escape. But some ants, including Monomorium Ortegnia, can slip through. I suspected the tiny ants find little openings in the fluon to escape. Since I just updated them last video, that's all for this colony. This next colony is definitely my favorite of the bunch, my honeypots, my mermax mexicanus. And wow, I am so impressed at how well they have done. Recently, they just got their first full-size replete, and the queen lays every time they get a mealworm for protein. These ants are just fascinating, and again, you can watch my video on them to get more of an in-depth update. I am doing a video on them soon as well, so I will give an in-depth update on them then as well. Recently, they have been getting some pretty large workers, about twice the size of the normal ones. These large workers are soon to be repletes. They have been doing so good in their mini hearth extra large, and another generation of 7 to 10 ants is coming soon. Now, to get it over with, I have a bit of sad news. The colorful Camponotus vicinus colony that I bought nearly 2 years ago have died. Even after my attempts to move them in a mini hearth, they just never really got started. I do have my second black variety of this species, and here they are. Even though they only have 1 worker, they did well through hibernation this year, and the queen is still pumping out more eggs. I am hopeful that this colony can really get started. They are always aggressive with their food, and they have a big appetite. This colony is about 1.5 years old, and Camponotus vicinus just grows extremely slow, and this colony has never really got started either. Although the future is hopeful for them, now that the queen has finally laid eggs. The next colony isn't really a colony yet, but an incredible single queen of the species Mermax versicolor, or leafcutter ant. I finally got my hands on a queen, and I love her. She looks so prehistoric, and she is an incredible hard-working queen. You see, these ants must collect leaves and flower petals to nourish their fungus, which they eat. Basically, they put the material on the fungus, and the fungus grows around it. As the fungus grows, the ants eat it, their only source of food. This queen has 4-ish eggs at the moment, and I'll explain the full story of her once she gets her workers, and make an in-depth video on them. The next colony is one that is pretty new to me, my Monomorium bicarinatum. These gals have a very interesting trait, and that is the ability to inbreed and make new queens. Basically, they will mate inside of the colony, increasing their fertile queens. I explained this in more depth in the last proper video on my Monomorium Ortegnia, so you can check it out. Anyway, this species is supposed to grow very fast, but I have not noticed much from them. I think this is because of the cold weather we have been having here, and I'm sure they will grow in the summer. They have 2 queens currently, but once they inbreed, that will change. Next, this colony is brand new to the channel. My seed eaters, my barbers. These British ants are stressed very easily, and that combined with how they have a seed stash in their nest, so I don't need to feed them. I don't check up on them often. These ants are very interesting, but the queen herself has a story. I bought her about a year ago, and she unfortunately ate her eggs in shipping. I thought this queen was doomed, but alas, after about 3 months of waiting, there were new eggs. After she laid, they got workers very quickly, maybe 3.5 weeks, and she started an empire. This species can grow to 50,000 plus workers, but again, the cold weather has been hindering their growth. I would love a massive colony in the future. The next colony is one that has not been shown in a long while, and they will also get their own video relatively soon. And that is my soul Noxus molesta. Most of the viewers probably have never heard of this colony, as their last appearance was nearly a year ago. They have grown a bit, but not much. Unfortunately, one queen has died, so one remains. They have always had plenty of brood, but I have never fed them that much. I will explain more once their new video comes out, as they are getting a real nest soon as a Tar Heel Ants mini hearth. The next colony is currently my oldest colony remaining, nearly 3 years old. This is my Gasteroccidentalt. The colony is not big for their age, with around 150 workers, but I'd like to keep it that way. I like them being smaller and being able to see all 4 queens. I don't feed them that often to keep them small, but I will feed them more soon. I love watching them eat because they get their mealworms or crickets pretty much right away and they love them. The biggest update with this colony is that they have moved out of their main nest and into their water test tube. They have built kind of an anthill around it. This colony has always done structural stuff like that, which I like about them. Since they haven't grown much, that is all for this colony. The next colony is one I have raised from one single queen, my Monomorium immigrants. These girls would be much bigger if it was hotter, but this year so far has been very cold where I live, so they are the same size as last time. They are kind of in hibernation mode, even though they don't require it. Their only brood is larvae and a few pupae, but they are moving very slowly, so I don't expect this colony to really grow at all until it warms up. Recently, they have been enjoying crushed seeds, nectar, and insects. This colony really loves their seeds, and there is a pile of them in their outworld at the moment. Because of this, I haven't fed them new food in a bit, but the seeds will stay fresh, as they bring in seeds whenever they want, and they provide protein plus carbohydrates all ants need. Again, not much to say about these girls as they have not been grown. This colony will be my Brachi mermax patagonicus, which are honestly a boring species. They are just the run-of-the-mill tiny ants that you see in the neighborhood. They are tiny and uninteresting, but there are many queens in my neighborhood, and I have seen 50 in one night before. And it is cool to try to put a bunch of queens together and see how it goes. This will be my plan for this season. Just catch like 20 to 30 queens and put them all together to see what happens. And now, another brand new colony to the channel. This being my mermax rugosius. This species is so pretty, and even though my colony has just one worker and one queen, the future is bright for them. The queen is productive and caring for her brood, and they have 2 pupae and some larvae right now. I even caught her laying an egg, which is probably out on my channel by now, so you can watch that one if you want. It would be amazing to have a large colony of these gorgeous red ants, so I'd like to raise them to that point. They grow pretty fast, and hopefully I can grow them big. I also love this colony and species. The final colony is my Argentinians, who have not grown much since last update, and I want to keep them smaller for now, as I don't have a plan for a bigger setup. I have big plans for this colony maybe this summer, which is when I'll introduce them. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little 100 subscribers special, just a small little update on every single one of my colonies. Thank you all so much for your continued support. See you guys next time, and peace out.